Let's go, let's go, let's go. Sleazeball here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my waiver wire week 8 pickups. I hope you guys had a good week 7 matchup, caught that W. I am going to dive into this one in tiers, guys. So I'll give you a ballers tier, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and some sleeper players. I'm not going to be getting to my ranking videos this week. It's my birthday weekend. We're planning a bunch of crazy stuff. I will tomorrow get into my stardom, sit-em for every position. I promise I'll get that done. I'll get a couple buy low, sell high videos and some shorts or whatever. But let's start diving into it here, guys. Let's start balling. Let's go. Pull up the waiver wire team real quick. So, for me, baller number 1 at the top. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you scroll down below, smash that like, smash that subscribe. Helps me out a ton, trying to bring you the best fantasy football content to help you win your matchups weekly. And here we go, guys. Number 1 waiver wire pickup for me on the week ballers tier is going to be Darrell Henderson Jr. Now, I know right now if you have Yahoo or whatever app you're looking at, it says he reverted back to the practice squad. Do not worry about that update. That is not going to affect anything heading forward. I don't know why that is out there. He did rush for 61 yards last week. I believe it was 18 carries, 61 yards, got a reception for 5 yards. He only did that in 60% of snaps, too. So you saw Royce Freeman jump in. You saw a little sprinkle in of Zach Evans. I think he had a couple touches, nothing crazy. But Darrell Henderson is the guy that McVay likes. He is the best pass blocker on the team. And I do think with Kyron Williams out on IR till week 12 against Arizona, if they don't trade for Dalvin Cook, if they don't trade for Henry, if they don't make any trading moves, I do think Darrell Henderson has the coaching staff and McVay behind him as the starter the rest of the way. Number 2, he snuck back up, man. Another baller chill player here. He snuck back up out of nowhere. He went from splitting carries, week 6 to all of a sudden last week, 80% snaps, all the work. Emari Demercado is the guy now. I mean, unbelievable. He had 13 carries, 58 yards, 4 receptions, 17 yards. That's solid because the Cardinals are always going to be playing from behind. And if you phased out Keontae Ingram, this is going to pretty much be the guy for the next 4 weeks here. It looks like James Conner IR might leave him a little longer than the actual IR says, could be 2 to 3 weeks longer. And with the Cardinals being out of contention, you might even have a running back the whole way here. You might see Conner traded. You might see something crazy. I mean, you never know what's going to happen here, especially with the trade deadline coming up this week. And there's no buys. So this is going to be, it's going to be hard to start him this week when there's no buys. There'll be tons of running back, unless you're in like a 20-man league or, 16-man league, something like that. But Emari Demercado is going to be a very, very nice plug and play here the rest of the way if, it plays out like James Conner isn't there. Number 3, he's back. We're going baller tier as well. I've seen a bunch of tweets saying he's going to be a league winner. I don't know if I totally buy into the league winner status of Dalton Kincaid. I mean, the start to his career has been really bad. I mean, if you compare it to, say, like Luke Musgrave or Sam Laporta, it's not even close. So, I mean, he is on a high-powered offense. You like that. You do now have Dawson Knox having wrist surgery. You don't know how it's going to go. He just saw 8 targets. But again, this was in a game where they're behind. So if you want to see what I'm talking about here, this is their schedule coming up. They get Tampa Bay. They're probably going to blow that game out. Denver, New York Jets. And then they have Cincy in there the second week. He might see more work for Cincy. He might see more work for Philly, KC. But what I really like with him is the playoff stretch of Dallas, Chargers, New England. That is and KC. That is like my favorite part of Dalton Kincaid. That is why you grab him now. And hopefully he'll start to pick up the playbook, pick up the rest. Being a rookie, usually it takes about half a season for rookies to lock in, click in. They're not Sam Laporta right away. But I really like Dalton Kincaid hitting ahead. Number 4, he might play this week. He might play week 9. But it is time to go get Kyler Murray. With the trade, the trade's looming right now. This whole week is going to be mayhem on the trade block for every single team. I could see him going somewhere. A lot of needy quarterback teams. Deshaun Watson update dropped today, 4 to 6 weeks to the shoulder. You never know what they're going to do. I mean, he is a very, very big contract. So obviously it's not going to be the Browns or nothing. But I could see Kyler Murray moving. I mean, I could see it happen. And he's been a top 5 quarterback for the past 3 years. So if he's on your waiver wire, this is a no-brainer. Go get him right now. That is it for the tier 1 ballers, guys. We are now heading down to tier 1. I cannot believe this guy is still 60% rostered. I don't even know why I'm talking about him on waiver wire. He should not be, especially if you're in like a 12 plus competitive man league. Josh Downs is balling with Gardner Minshew. I did not think that Gardner Minshew would throw for 300 yards against the Cleveland D. That happened. He had a 24-point game in 0.5 PPR last week. I mean, unbelievable. And now he gets the Saints, and the Saints are going to have Marcus Lattimore lock up Michael Pittman, or, he doesn't really shadow all the way across anymore, but he'll be on him most of the time. And the Saints' weakness to their defense is the slot. They funnel targets to the slot. They are number 1 versus slot in the NFL. They get beat at the slot. This is going to be a Josh Downs. I'm a DFS play this, smash play this all the way this week, 100%. Leads me right to the guy right after. I'm going tier 2 at number 6. Or tier 1, number 2, sorry. Gardner Minshew. I mean, back-to-back 300-yard games for this guy. Even though it was with 3 picks, I mean, he had a lot of picks in week 6. I'll pull up the stats, so I'm going to completely wrong. 329 and 305 back-to-back. He's had 4 picks in 2 games, 3 touchdowns. Getting a better grasp of the offense. He has had a tough road. He still has a tough road ahead. But that kind of, volume of the passing routes that they have, so all 3 of their receivers, Alex Pierce, Josh Down, Michael Pittman, are all top 10 in usage. They're 98, 97, 96%. They run 3 wide receiver sets a ton. I'm hoping they get Jelani Woods here back off IR soon. There'll be another big body target for him in the red zone. And Jonathan Taylor looks like he's getting his groove back after last week. He still has a tough road ahead, but I like Gardner Minshew as a pickup this week. Tier 3 again, Taysom Hill. Number 3, tier 1. So the Saints can't run the ball, period. I mean, if you've seen their season stats, they rush for about, I don't know, for 40. Off the top of my head, it's like 45 yards a game. It's not great. Alvin Kamara's pass work is ridiculous. But every time they get to the goal line, if you look at last week, they got to the goal line. Alvin Kamara tried it 3 times, stuffed 3 times, gave it to Taysom Hill, walked it in. I mean, they're going to start using more packages of this guy on short down yardage all year. And if you can plug him into your tight end play, it's massive. I mean, it's a huge steal to the game. I don't really know why they still is he really, a tight end? I guess. I mean, receiving wise, he's seen 13 targets in the past 2 games with 11 receptions and 99 yards, which is nice to see. But he had 5 carries for 18 yards last game. That's the point I'm trying to make here is this is a must pick up player now because they're starting to find out that they can't run short yardage plays with Alvin Kamara or Kendra Miller or Jamal Williams. It's just their offensive line is a struggle bus. The last tier 1 guy here, this is super tough. He missed his chance for bell cow status, right? Like he missed his chance to take over the backfield with this concussion for Roschon Johnson. I mean, he's super young. It almost has me worried. Like, does he have like something really wrong? Because usually 22, 23-year-olds aren't out for 2 to 3 plus games for a concussion when they're young. I mean, you got to have like at least, Tua status of like 4 to 5 concussions back to back to be out that long. So he will be hopefully back this week is the updates that I'm reading. But, Foreman's coming off a 31-point game and he just balled out and they got the dub. So I still think he's the better back, but I think that this is why I dropped him so low on my waiver wire list now is because I feel like he has lost that job. I think it's over. I think he lost the job to Foreman, or he's going to split carries with him, and then Khalil Herbert's back off IR in like a week. So, I mean, he was super high for the past 2 weeks for him, but he just never cleared. So I can't do it with him anymore. Number 9, tier 2. He didn't get it going last week like I thought. Jeff Wilson Jr. Literally 2 snaps or something. And Raheem Mostert played terrible. So, I mean, Devon Achane is coming soon. This is, another deep dart throw. But if you can get any piece of the Miami offense, you want it. I mean, I hope Jeff Wilson, you're going to see more snaps after last week, especially with the Mostert showing. I mean, think about it like this. When Mostert was balling and he was the number 1, you would have Ahmed getting 10 points. When Devon Achane was balling and he was the number 1 getting 30 a game, Mostert would get 10 a game. Then Mostert would get 10 a game, and then Ahmed would get 10. So even their running back 2 always is a still fantasy floor play for me, and Jeff Wilson is a good running back. I just feel like that was his first game back off injury. It was a little more sketch to that run than it should. So you're going to see Kareem Hunt on here. I base my waiver wires off 12-man competitive leagues. if you really want to put it like this, Kareem Hunt would be right up here with Darrell Henderson, right? But I don't, I guess I don't play in 10 mans or anything like that. So I look at, mine as more competitive edge waiver wire content. But I'll throw him up there just in case, your 10 man or 12 man, or he's on your wire. I mean, if you play in a 12-man competitive league and Kareem Hunt's on your wire, then your league's not competitive. But heading down to the next one here for tier 2, major injury update in Arizona. They moved Zach Ertz to IR. It is Trey McBride time. I've been waiting for this all season. Like, this is a massive. Honestly, I could have moved him up. Actually, yeah. Let's do this here. He's this valuable. Trey McBride at a position where everyone struggles at tight end. Think about the volume that Zach Ertz was seeing before he just went to IR, right? He was about 8 average per game pace. Trey McBride has still been putting up numbers even without him. So he had 5 targets last game, or 6 targets week 7, 5 targets before that, 3 targets before that. Nothing crazy. 62 yards against the Rams. But the volume of them being down, and the Cardinals, even they get Kyler Murray back here, it'll help too as well. I mean, I don't think they're like contenders or anything with him. But Trey McBride is a solid tight end pickup. He's super talented. I believe he's only 22 years old still. Massive talent. I like what I see from him, and I like him a lot as a pickup this week. Heading down to tier 2 right here. This is now going to be, I guess, player 10 because I cut back. Zay Jones. His injury has literally kept him week to week, daily. Every single game, it feels like it's close and doesn't happen. Then it's close and it doesn't happen. I feel like now, coming off the longer week with a Thursday night football game, he will be back this week. And I feel like this is like, if you own Christian Kirk, it's your sell high time now. That's just my opinion. I know that Kirk looks like the number one, but when you bring out Zay Jones back out there, it does hurt their 3 wide receiver set, and it limits Kirk to that. So when you get a chance at Zay Jones, I don't look at him like a 12-man league starter yet or anything, unless you're very, very injured. But the talent he has is great, and the quarterback and the offense they have is great. And they always move the ball. This is something you want. I like Zay Jones at number 10 this week. Number 11. Here it comes. I thought he was going to have a bigger week last week. It was rough with Brian Hoyer, man. Okay, so Michael Mayer. Snap count has gone up incredible in the past 2 weeks to 80% and 78%. Massive. I mean, this is what you want with a tight end value, just like Trey McBride. I just feel like it's different in the Cardinals system. They have like a better pass velocity funnel to the tight end than the Raiders do, especially with Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers out there. So the schedule that he has is absolutely phenomenal, though, guys. So he gets Detroit this week. I believe they're number 4 worst versus tight end, if I remember. Detroit, no, 2nd worst versus tight end on the season, 2nd most yards allowed. Then they get the Giants, the Jets, Miami, KC, Minnesota, Chargers, KC, Indy. Not one team in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games for them is a top 10 defense versus the tight end. And as a rookie, you know, especially the high draft pick they spit on him, that he's not going to come off the field. It's going to be more of a learning curve the whole way, but he's going to see tight end 1 production usage on the field. I know everyone looks at a 2-point game last week and it's like, oh, it's dropping back to the wire. Do not do that. Go stash Michael Mayer. I'm even thinking about playing him this week. Jimmy G back Monday night. You get that, last Monday night laugh with the tight end. I like Michael Mayer at number 11 this week. Number 12 heading in here. It is time for them to start feeding Rashid Shaheed. You have seen him get a couple sweeps here. You have seen him do a couple double reverses, weird passing stuff. They know they have a playmaker in him. It's just the Saints offense, man. They have so many weapons. Like I was watching Chris Olave just not pay attention to routes, look disengaged. I mean, cut off on a long bomb, was talking like chirping back at people. Like the Saints are just in shambles. You got Carr screaming at everybody. I think there's a big move coming to the trade deadline for the Saints. I just don't know what it is, but I really like Shaheed's playmaking ability. Now, so this is it for my top 12 waiver wire guys right here. This is just an extra I'm throwing on the side down here. These are sleeper players to think about. It's going to be real quick. I'm not going to break it down fully. Leonard Fournette should have a job here soon. I mean, he went to or was supposed to go to the Bills and didn't go to the Bills and didn't get the visit or whatever it is. I've heard a couple things that he's out of shape or whatever it is. But the running back injuries that have happened, he's got to be better than some of these guys still, and you have to start to think at some point that he's going to get a shot. I don't know if he will be the starting running back, but he is a guy to worry about to take a shot here. Marvin Mims is my second sleeper on the waiver wire, and I mean, the Broncos, man. I know they got the win. I can't believe it. But they're going to sell Judy or they're going to sell Sutton here before the deadline. And this is going to be the Mims opening that he needs. And this is going to be a team that is just like the Cardinals the rest of the season, pretty much playing from behind. The volume will be there. And Marvin Mims' snap share should go up to the 60s and 70s here. And that will make him maybe flexible in fantasy football. But right now, this is the time to stash him, is now, right now. So remember the name, Marvin Mims, heading in. If you don't know who it is, I'll throw him on there. I'm still going to throw Kadarius Toney on here. I mean, I still believe that the workload that he's getting is too much, especially in an offense like that. I know he's been just unbelievably tough to trust. But look at it like this. So Kadarius Toney, man, it's bad last week. 1 for 1 for 13. Not great. His snap share hasn't even been over 50% all year. But he's so talented. He's someone to think about still for me. I know it hasn't panned out yet, and you're seeing the Rashee Rice take over. But I still like him as something to think about there. Number 4, sleeper, last one is going to be Julio Jones, getting his first game action with Philly. Got 1 catch for 3 yards. Nothing crazy. But all it takes right here for Julio would be, and Devontae had that hamstring injury. Everyone kind of freaked out last week. All it takes is one little knick-knack here, and Julio Jones is the wide receiver 2 in Philly, which is an offense you definitely want to be a part of. I mean, he's 34. I don't know. I kind of watched the game a little bit with the Dolphins. He had juice left in the tank or not. I couldn't really tell. He's going kind of slow. His snap share was really low. But for his first game back, it's something you want to keep your eye on. These 5 down here, I'm going to leave here. Jordan Mason, Zach Evans kind of lost his job. Jordan Mason, and, CMC back, he's kind of out. And Curtis Samuel, still seeing good targets. He could be number 5 sleeper, but he shouldn't be on the wires in 12-man league. So he shouldn't be there like that. So that is it for my waiver wire tier list for week 8, guys. As always, if you like the content, scroll down below, smash that like, smash that subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything of your own, drop them in there. I do this all a cappella too. I'm not reading no notes or nothing. This is just all off my head. Or I do look at their stats, over the side every now and then, but I try to do it off my mind so it's in my mind all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.